What's happening, homesteaders? Welcome back. Got the shed down. The one that I said I was going to turn into raised beds. Well, I spent all day today putting one of the raised beds together, trying to find all the measurements. I kind of planned it out what I wanted it to look like. I wanted it 8 foot long by 4 feet wide. I wasn't quite sure how deep I wanted it, but I went ahead and the tin that I had, you'll see it here in a second. I went ahead and made it as deep as the tin so that way all the roots have good area to grow. I'm going to put plastic around on the inside. Also use it for a worm bed like I was talking about in my worm farm video. So that way, once the worms overgrow this, I can be able to put more in here and more and more and more and be able to make a profit off the worms to be able to sell them local fishermen's bait markets, local gardeners, things like that. Same thing with the bees once we get that going, which hopefully we'll get going on that soon. I got to get a few more tools so that way I can be able to build the beehives. I like building things. It's a lot easier for me, a lot cheaper for me. I don't have any money, so I try to make it as cheap and as efficient as possible. One of the things I came across, my shed that I had was 8 foot by 8 foot square. The walls were only 7 feet tall. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy the rest of the 2x4s to finish making out the rest of them and just use what lumber and tin that I have here to finish doing the rest of it. So just stay tuned and I will show you the raised bed. Look at this countersink job I had to do. I had to take and drill a 1/4-inch hole to make the screws be able to go all the way down in there. I drilled it about halfway, about to all the way to right there, because I only had screws that were about that long. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this after I've got it all together and it's all squared up and everything's good. I'm going to fill all this with wood putty. Isn't that crazy?
Yep. Say cheese.
Make it look pretty, put the putty on it. Well, put the putty on it, then sand it.
I see. Uh-huh.
Daddy and me.
Say cheese.
This is the hardest part because the sun hits it and shines on it.
House.
Okay, so here's the raised bed. It's 4 feet wide. It's actually a little over 4 feet wide. It's, what is that, 4 foot 5.5 or something like that. 51 1/4 inches is what it actually, the inches are. Just remembered that. But it's 8 feet long. It's actual 8 foot long. And it is 26.5 inches deep with the tin. And then I took this, what is this, 1x6 here. They were 12 foot long. I cut them down and I cut the corners out and made it to where you come in here, the wood from the screws, because I pre-drilled big holes so that way I could get the screws down in here real nice and deep right here. And there's big holes right there. And instead of putting the wood putty like I was originally thinking about doing, I thought about go ahead and put this barrier around the edge here. So that way, you know, you come out in the morning and maybe you can set your coffee cup down, or you can set your buckets and your tools and things like that. And, you know, you're able to use it as a workbench and also protect yourself from the tin and things like that. Now, like I said, I'm not going to leave the tin bare. I've got my brother-in-law works in construction, and he brought home a huge roll of 8mm plastic. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to try to use a heat gun to build a box out of it. You know, melt it all together, so that way it's one solid unit. And then I'm going to lay that in, and I'm going to go get the soil. I'm going to go ahead and buy the soil, some topsoil and some garden soil and things like that, and mix it up real good. And then fill the beds up with it. And then once the worms get going, put the worms in there, throw the compost, you know, old vegetables, things like that. So that way the worms will grow, eat, do what the worms do. Had a good strong freeze last night. I'm a little worried about the worms, but I checked them earlier and they look okay. They're not moving much because they're so cold. But we'll see if I've got to order more. I've got to order more. It's just one of those things, a learning process. Anyway, well, this is the raised bed. I'm thinking with the lumber that I have left, like I said, I'm thinking I'm going to go get some more 2x4s from the Home Depot. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4 8-footers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 4-footers, and then some odds and ends for the bracing that you see here and here. So that's what I have. I like it. It's sturdy. It's sturdy, but also you're able to pick it up no problem and move it around. I put I had some 2x12s that I had laying around that we got from an estate sale. I took and I cut them out and I put them to brace it together, help it extra strong and sturdy, and to keep this here from being able to push down. I know I need to work on my corners. I'm still learning. I'm only 27 years old. I'm trying my best to get this and get it going right. Get the right tools, the right time, the right patience, everything. It's all work in progress. But I screwed all this down. I'm gonna sand it real good. Put a good coat of paint over it, so that way it doesn't rot. So that's it. That's the raised bed. I'm happy with the way it looks. I'm happy with it.